What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to be talking about how to get into bass fishing. It's a very basic question. Yes, you need a rod. Yes, you need a reel. You need baits, hooks, everything. Yes, but that's kind of overwhelming. You go into a fishing section at Walmart, and you see all this stuff and you have no idea where to get started. That is what we're going to cover in today's video, is how to actually get started. When you first get into bass fishing, you buy your rod and reel. Please do not get an expensive rod and reel. It is not worth it. You want to start with something relatively in the beginner section, just because the more advanced you get, the more things you need to know. The more expensive rod and reel combo, the more you need to really take care of it. And when you first get started, you're not really going to know what you're doing and how to take care of it. And if something goes wrong, it's very discouraging, especially when you spend all that money. So this combo right here, I use this combo a lot. It's just a basic spinning rod and reel combo by Daiwa, and I got it at my local bait and tackle shop for I think 40 bucks, and it's sold for normally I think 120 bucks. But when you go to like your local bait and tackle shop, they will have a lot of cheaper combos that would normally be a lot more money. So you can do that, or you can go to Walmart, or you can go to Dick's. I'm going to leave a couple rod and reel combos that I highly recommend in the description below. I've helped a lot of people get into bass fishing, so I have a couple pretty good combos that I trust for people to start using. Luckily, as a kid, I had my dad, and my dad is the one who got me into bass fishing. He's the one that, you know, provided me with the rod and reels, obviously until a certain age, and then he was like, hey, you need to start buying your own stuff. But, you know, I always had him to help me and push me and figure things out. He was always the guy that knew everything, and I always, you know, learned from him. So there's a lot of people out there that don't have that, but they want to get started into bass fishing, but they don't have a resource. So I'm going to try my best to be that resource for you guys. First things first. Okay, you get a rod and reel. Perfect. Now, second thing, get line. You need line. Everyone needs line. Okay, so you have your rod, your reel, your line, all the basics. Those are the most important necessities right there, is your rod, your reel, and your line. Now, this is as simple and most diverse hook you can possibly get. This hook you can use for a Wacky Rig, and you can use it as a Texas rig. When you first get started into bass fishing, you're really going to be focusing on simple baits like the Wacky Worm and the Texas rig. Weighted or weightless Texas rig is completely fine. So I got my hook here. I can do a tutorial on this if you guys request it, but we're going to do the most basic knot. Sorry, it's getting windy out here. We're going to do the most basic knot known to man, and that is just a little uni knot. So you're going to put your line through your hook, just like that, simple, and you're going to twist it. Everyone kind of twists it a different amount. I usually do it 5 to 6 times, and then you're going to take your line where there's that little opening, and you're going to thread it through there. Now make sure everything's kind of tight like that, and if you see this little hole right up here, you're going to take your line and you're going to put it through that hole right there. I know it's not the best knot tutorial. If you guys do want a full actual tutorial on how to do more than just this knot, I can totally do that. And then there you go. Simple knot. Very, very simple. Now, this extra leftover, you're gonna need to snip that for sure, so hold on. Alright, so I don't have scissors on me, so that's the best that I can do, but you usually want to cut a little bit more than that, but just about that much line on it. Now, alright, you have that, everything's ready. When you first get into bass fishing, I would recommend like a 3/0 or a 4/0 hook, nothing more than that. Anything more, it's too complicated. But a 3/0 and a 4/0, it's very versatile. It's easy to rig up, and that's really what people usually use, is 3/0 or 4/0. Sometimes 5/0, but again, that's a little too complicated. Now, the most popular baits in Walmart are going to be Yum and Strike King. These two baits right here will catch you fish. It's as simple as that. We got black and blue, and we got watermelon, or whatever you want to call it. You got green and you got black and blue. These are two really great colors that will really work anytime. When you first get into bass fishing, get black and blue. Black and blue is gonna work in almost 90% of the places that you fish. Oops. Okay, sorry. Black and blue is gonna work in like 90% of the places that you fish, which is what you need. Obviously, the more you get into bass fishing, the more you'll realize what color bait and what type of styled bait to use in that pond. But for now, black and blue, stick with black and blue. It will help you a lot. Black and blue is just proven to work. It's a proven color. It works all the time. Now, let me grab the other one again. One sec. These two baits. What can you do with the stick bait? How do you rig it? Well, these two baits, I just dropped my rod again. These two baits right here, you can rig this in a Texas rig, a weightless Texas rig, a drop shot, a Carolina, a Wacky, and a shaky head. And you want to know how I know that? It says it right on the back of the package. So all your resources are right here. Are you going to learn how to do all those? No. It's going to take a while to even perfect a couple of these. So my best bet, again, weightless Texas rig or weighted, and then Wacky worm. I don't want to open these packages though. So we're going to put those down. Guggen Baits 6-inch lunker log right here. I do not recommend you going and buying these expensive baits when you can go to Walmart, but I don't want to open those packages just yet, and you guys will understand that in a second. For a Wacky rig, all you're going to do is you have your worm right here. You're going to find as close as you can to the dead center, and you're going to thread it to about right there in the hook, just like that. And then when you go in the water, when it goes in the water, it's going to do this. And it's going to attract a lot of fish. A Wacky rig is probably one of the easiest way to catch fish. But say you perfect that, you're good, you got that down. Well, there's a lot of weeds. You're fishing a pond that has a lot of weeds. Right here, not this side of the worm, not this side, but that side. You're gonna put your hook as dead center as you can, and you're gonna push it until it starts to curve just a little bit, and then you're gonna push through, and you're gonna go all the way up. I like to cover my knot, so now my knot's not showing, and all you're gonna do is just thread it just like that. That was simple like that, and then you're ready to catch fish. The only reason why I recommend starting off with the Wacky rig is because you don't have to set the hook as hard. When you're fishing a Texas rig, you kind of have to set the hook a little bit harder just so that hook can actually get exposed when hooking the fish. So again, my best recommendation, start off with the Wacky rig, that first rig that I just showed you guys. You literally, it just floats in the water and you bounce it. The fish see it and the fish are going to want to eat it, trust me. That is the rig that I started off with when I first started bass fishing. We have our rod reel, we have our worm, and our hook. That's literally all we need. Now, the reason why I didn't want to open these two packages earlier was because I never thought I would actually do this, but I'm going to be doing a giveaway. I've always thought that when YouTubers do giveaways, it was so like cliche, you know, whatever. But now I'm at the point where I actually have 600 subscribers, and I want to give back to you guys as much as I possibly can. I know it's not a lot. For people who want to get into bass fishing, I have all this stuff right here. We got worms, more worms. We got little lizards, always works. We have hooks, a bandit crankbait, and a Strike King spinnerbait. Now, I'm going to be giving away all of these lures. One person. And the only thing that you need to do to be entered to win this stuff is just be subscribed. You gotta like, comment, and subscribe on this video. That's all you need to do. Make sure your comment has something relative to do about this video, like what do you want me to do in my next video? What should I work on? Anything in that genre will work perfectly. The second you're subscribed, you like the video, and you comment, that's 1 enter. If you follow my Instagram, which will be down below, that's 2 enters. Do those steps, follow my Instagram, and you're entered twice. And all these baits right here can and will be yours. Wow, it's hot. Anyway, so I just wanted to capitalize on the fact that yes, you're gonna go into the fishing section, you're gonna be overwhelmed, but all you need is, you know, the basic rod, reel, line. You need hooks, you need worms, or creature bait. Any type of creature bait works really well, or weights. If you're into trying to try the weighted Texas rig, that works fine too. That's literally all you need. I want to help you guys get into bass fishing as much as I possibly can because I love to bass fish. I know how much fun it is, and I want to give back to you guys and try to help you guys get into as much as you can. I don't think bass fishing's meant for everyone by any means, but I also think you're missing out on a lot if you don't bass fish. Or not even bass fishing, any type of fishing. If you don't try any type of fishing at least once in your life, you are missing out. by a landslide. Okay, now, cool, you've been listening to me talk for a couple minutes now, maybe even longer, I don't know, however long this intro turns out to be. But now I'm gonna actually go out to the pond physically with my stick bait, and I'm gonna work on using the Texas rig and a wacky worm. And those two baits I'm gonna try at the pond, and I'm gonna try to catch some fish on it. Just so I can actually prove to you guys that these two styles of baits do work. Black and blue, wacky worm, Texas rig, weightless Texas rig, all of that works. And the only way I can actually prove that to you guys is actually physically trying it. So, I'm sweating, it is hot out, and I'll catch you guys at the pond catching some fish. Alright, the only goal is just to catch fish on a weightless Texas rig and a wacky rig. Just so you guys can see how effective these styles are to throw. Especially when you first start bass fishing, they're just so easy to do. And it's probably one of the most least complicated baits you can possibly throw. Alright, so with the wacky rig, you're gonna cast it out. And then you're just gonna let it sink. And then once you feel like it's a decent amount, all you gotta do is just wacky. It's called the wacky rig because that's what you do, you kinda just whack it. And this will give it an insane amount of action. And the ends of the worms, they'll flare out and they'll bounce up and down, and it will just automatically attract fish nearby. So that is literally all you do with the wacky rig. Cast it out, let it sink, and then wacky. That's all you gotta do. Super easy, super effective, and you don't have to be an expert to know how to do this either. It might take you longer than most people to get it down, but it's definitely one of the easier style baits. All right, so I'm still gonna do the wacky rig, but it is really hot out. It's the middle of the day, so I'm gonna make my presentation just a little bit smaller. This is literally all I brought with me, just so I wouldn't be tempted to throw anything else. So let's see. All right, so this is the worm we were just using, and then this is the presentation that we're gonna go with. It's definitely a lot smaller. Again, it's middle of the day. I think it's 85 degrees out, so a smaller presentation will probably help us get a better bite, or at least more bites. Oh, that's funny. You're a girl, you don't know how to fish. All right. Fish on. There we go. Oh, you're just a little guy. Yeah, just a little guy. Feisty little guy. All right, and there you have it. Finally, we caught a fish on the wacky worm. All right, so just like that, the wacky rig. Everyone says that the wacky rig doesn't catch big fish, but it catches all sizes of fish. And right here, we just got this little guy. A wacky worm will catch you small fish, but they can and will catch you big fish as well. One final look at this fish right here. Just a little guy. But again, this is just a demonstration video. I'm not really trying to catch any big fish. I really just want to make this as instructional as possible. So we're gonna let this little guy go. Oh my God! He splashed me so hard. I needed that. Honestly, usually I'd be like, oh man, I just got splashed, but it's so hot out, that kind of felt good. All right, so now we took the wacky rig off, and all we're gonna use the same exact worm to do our Texas rig. Same exact hook, same exact everything. Just gonna rig it a little bit different. And there you go, that's all. But like I said earlier, doing a Texas rig when you first start is hard just because of your hook set. So when you start off with the wacky worm, you work on your hook sets then, and then once you feel like you got your hook sets down, you got the feel for the bite, then that's a really good time to transfer to the Texas rig. And then, you know, you kind of just keep on going up from there. There we go, fish on. There we go. Oh, it's not too bad. Ooh, he's fat too. Look how fat this fish is. It's because it's fall and they're trying to school up on fish as much as possible, and they're eating like crazy. He's a big fish. He has a big belly. He's not huge, but his belly, it's huge, man. I don't know, the GoPro doesn't really pick that stuff up that good though. All right, this is a fish that we just caught in the Texas rig. We just took a couple pictures. If you want to see the pictures, my Instagram will be linked down in the description below. All right, so this is our fish. We caught a fish on the Wacky worm and now the Texas rig. And there she goes. Alright, what's up guys? Thank you so much for watching today's episode. I hope you enjoyed and I hope you guys learned a little bit something, at least more than you did before the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to be entered in the giveaway, like, comment, subscribe, DM me on Instagram to be entered. That's all you have to do. It's super simple and you guys can be entered to win a bunch of great baits to learn how to start fishing in. Or if you already know how to start fishing, or you know how to fish, then it's still great to have those baits in your tackle. Thank you guys so much for staying tuned. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, please subscribe. It would mean the world to me, and I'll catch you guys on the next episode.